Hey, this is Dr. Corey Glenn with Blue Sky Bio, and in this video I'm just going to be showing a really simple STL that I designed. And the purpose of this STL is to allow you to open and close the VDO on a set of digital models. Now the reason this is an issue is because if you've got digital models, you don't have these mounted on a semi-adjustable articulator where you can open or close the pin, right? So in the digital world, if you tried to just move this, it's not going to work on a hinge motion. Rather, you would be having to just position it in space. You would be having to spin it and try to guess all that. And that makes for a really inaccurate change to the VDO. So we don't want to do that. Rather, what we'd like to do is to represent the human anatomy and have that jaw hinging back here at what would represent the condyles. So that's the entire principle of using a semi-adjustable articulator, is that it is set up to, as closely as possible, mimic the anatomic averages for most people between the condyles and then the anterior midpoint of the lower incisors. And if you remember from dental school, that's referred to as the Bonwill triangle. So just to refresh your memory, the Bonwill triangle is the triangle created between each condyle where the actual hinge motion occurs with the lower jaw, and then the anterior point being the midline of the lower incisors, okay? And anatomically, that's the average for most people. That's where that hinge axis is located. So when we alter the occlusion, we actually want to be able to hinge from there. And that, in fact, is what an articulator allows you to do. You can actually hinge from up here, okay? And that's what you're accustomed to seeing with an articulator. Well, we needed to be able to do that digitally. I know some of the softwares, 3Shape, exocad, they already have this mechanism. Currently, Blue Sky does not have it in the current release of it, and so this is just something you can download. You can use in Meshmixer, and really, even if you have 3Shape and exocad, it's kind of a big deal to launch a case and open up all these models and then apply the articulator. This is just something really simple that you could open and within 10 seconds make those changes. So let me separate these back out and then show you how this thing works. This is the actual STL that you can see now that I've turned off the articulator and the models. Those are not part of it. That was just to help you visualize what the principle is. All this is a 4-inch equilateral Bonwill triangle, okay, with each of these representing the condyles. And again, you put the end point right here at the lower incisor midpoint. And then you've also got this, and this looks very similar to the Panadent mounting plates if you're familiar with this, but the only purpose of this is to help you align the occlusal plane. Okay, so when you bring in a set of models, you're going to want to put those with the occlusal plane of the maxilla right on this. Now, in the actual Panadent articulator, when they use that Coist dentofacial analyzer face bow, it's designed such that you just put this plate in, you line everything up to the midline and to the interpupillary line, but you're just putting the incisors right against that vertical component. And when you do that, you actually notice that that's significantly farther out than the actual Bonwill triangle. I think the distance they use is actually 110 millimeters instead of roughly 100, which is 4 inches. But in doing that, it puts the maxillary model a little bit farther out, and your mandibular model, because the incisors are tucked lingual to that generally, is probably going to put the incisors somewhere about right here. So we're in the ballpark. If you align it just like you would on the Panadent, you're going to have a slightly longer arcing motion. If you align it truly to the Bonwill triangle and put the incisors of the lower right here, it's going to have a slightly less arcing motion, but both of them are going to be very similar and much closer to accurate than you'll be able to do just arbitrarily moving this around. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just bring in a couple of models and assume that I want to adjust the VDO on these two models. So I'm going to bring in both the upper and lower simultaneously. And there's a few functions you're going to have to learn when you're using this. You're going to have to learn how to join and separate models. You're going to have to know how to transform models, and you're going to have to know how to create a pivot. So I'm going to show all of that in this video. Here you see that we brought in both of these models. Now, anytime you've got multiple STLs in a case, the software should bring up an objects browser like you see here that allows you to toggle on and off the different STLs. If you don't see that, come to View and show or hide objects browser. But once you have this objects browser, this allows us to move things in unison. So if I push T for transform, you can see that that allows me to move one model Let's cancel that. I don't want to do that. I actually want to keep the relationship of these two together. So holding Control, I'm going to select both in the Objects browser and then push T for transform, or you could simply come up here and hit that. Now that lets me move both of these models in unison. Okay, so again, the purpose of this plate down here is to indicate for us where the occlusal plane should be aligned. So I'm going to bring this in. They need to be spun down slightly. Too far. And I could do it similar to how the Panadent articulator does it, and I could put incisors against right here, or alternatively, I could maybe scoot this back. Okay, now I can see where the end point of that triangle is, and I could slide this forward so that the incisors match. So anywhere between this position and where I previously was, anywhere between that is going to be good. They're both going to work the same. I would probably tend to err towards going back farther here on a really small patient, on a patient with a short angular jaw. If they're a much bigger person and they've got a much larger jaw or a long face, I would probably err more towards putting this up here. But somewhere, put your incisal edge right between here. Okay. Now you also want to align the midline. So when I'm doing this, I might have the midline aligned, but be off kilter like this. So you don't want to do that. The other part of this plate is to help you reference where to put this model. So we want the model, you notice here I've got more space on the plate left over here than I do over here. So I probably need to spin back just a little bit and then pull this over. And that looks pretty close. Okay, so the occlusal plane is following correctly, the midline is lined up, and that puts our models where we need them to be. So I'm going to accept this. And at this point, you can see I have three visible models. I've got my Bonwill triangle with the mounting plate, I've got my maxilla and my mandible. And what I'm going to need to do is to actually join the one that I want to move, raise the model up or down on, or hinge that model. I'm going to need to join that model to this. So once again, in your objects browser, let's represent the anatomy and actually move the mandible so that it hinges up and down. So that's this model. My triangle is this model. So I'm going to hold Control and select both of those, and I'm going to combine them. Okay, so now you see that all of these models, the plate, the triangle, and my mandible are joined together. And now what I need to do, if I just push T for transform, again, this is not helpful. That's not what we're after. So I'll cancel that. I need to hinge it from up here. And to do so is going to require me to drop a pivot. And the way this has been designed is I've got this ball right here that tells you exactly where to drop that pivot. So with these models joined together, I'm going to come up to Edit, and I'm going to go to Create Pivot. Now when you do this, it's going to be ready for you to drop a point. So I'm going to come and click right in the middle of this ball. And there you see my hinge. And then once I've done that, I need to drop the pivot and then click Done. So now we have a pivot. And this pivot you can actually click on as if it were its own object. You could transform this. And so we want the, mine did it automatically, but if your pivot was something like that, we don't want to pivot in that direction. We want to actually come in where the red arrow here is going horizontal and parallel to the back of the triangle, and where this blue line is essentially going right through the midline. That's the direction that we want to be able to pivot from. This direction doesn't matter so much. You could make it coincide with this, but that won't really affect things because it's still just going to be pivoting off of that. All right, so our pivot is in place now. And if I select this model, again, I'm going to push T for transform. But if you just simply push T for transform, that's again going to be like this. Don't want to do that. We want to push T for transform. And then as soon as this comes up, before you touch anything, come back here and click on that pivot. And that's going to change it to where you're no longer rotating in the center of the axis of this lower model, but rather you're going to rotate it from back here. And this is the connection between the condyles, right? That's where we want to rotate from. So once I've clicked on that, now you see that this is going to hinge back here in an anatomic motion. So let's say that I'm making a night guard and I need to open the bite a little bit for this, and I wanted to create a couple millimeters between the posterior teeth right there. Okay, So that's now in the correct position. We can accept that. And now the assumption is that you'd be ready to take this into whatever software and make a night guard. You're going to have to separate this back out. Okay, so again, we've used the join function, we've used create pivots function, and now finally we need to separate back out this mandibular model. Now that we've applied that change, it's very simple to do. Go to your select tool, select that entire lower model. Okay, so double click on just the model. You don't want to click up here and have the triangle or the plate included, just the model. And then with it highlighted, come up to edit and separate. And now that model is back to its own individual STL. And you can actually turn off the triangle. And here you see the models have had the bite opened. Now, in order to apply that, you're going to need to save this. So now I would go back and I would export this, and I would maybe call this lower opened 2 millimeters. Remember, we also changed the global position of this maxillary model. So in order to maintain this position between these two, I'm going to need to export this one as the maxillary model. So now I have these models, the pen has been opened in a true anatomic fashion, and these models would now be ready to take into whatever software you want. Okay, so with all that shown, let me just do a quick real world case. This is a case where I have to do a digital wax up, and my colleague that sent this to me did an open bite because the vertical did need to be open some, but now that we're looking at it, it really is too far, and so we need to close the mandible back in a little bit. We need to go about halfway between their end-to-end occlusion and where it is currently. So I've already got these models stitched in Blue Sky Plan. I don't want to lose that stitch, so I'm going to just very quickly go ahead and export both of these models. So export data. You've got the option to export both of these as separate STLs simultaneously. If you don't click this, then it's going to create one STL composed of upper and lower. So I'm going to export that. And we'll put it in my folder called Bonwill. And now I'm just going to open both of those files in Meshmixer. Okay, we have two STLs here. We're in Meshmixer. Now I need to import the STL. This again is the thing that I'm demonstrating. So I need to go to import, append. Append just means add it to the case. Don't replace a model. And now go to wherever you've saved the download for this STL. And here you see that I now have all three files in. Now, in my first example, I actually showed aligning the models to this, but you can also do it the other way. So for this example, I've already got these models stitched in Blue Sky where I want them. And if I go now aligning them to this, then that throws all of that off. So instead, what I'm going to do is align the Bonwill triangle to the models. So I just push T for transform. I'm going to need to spin this around. I need to go up with it. So remember that we're trying to position this with the occlusal plane resting on the plate. And remember too that we're trying to put the one of two things, either put the anterior maxillary teeth right up against that vertical component right there. That would be similar to how the Panadent face bow and articulator works. If we were going with the true Bonwill triangle, we would be trying to align the end of this triangle to the lower incisor, somewhere in about that region. I'm just going to split the difference. I'm going to go right in between the two. Okay, so occlusal plane looks like it's about like so. And then remember too that part of the reason for the plate is so that you can look and make sure that you're not canted with your models too far this way or that. And so I'm just referencing the mid-palatal suture going through this middle component, and then I just want to align the midline. Okay, there we have it. And then remember, decide which model it is that you want to hinge. Okay, and we're going to have to join that. So you can do it with the upper or the lower. It doesn't matter. If you think about an articulator, it actually hinges the upper. It doesn't matter if they're both hinging from the same point, but I'm going to use the lower. So I'm going to go to the objects browser, control, and select both of those, combine them. And now with them combined, I need to come to edit, create pivot. The pivot is going to be dropped right here. It looks like it's oriented properly, so I'll drop pivot and then click done. And now on my mandibular model, I'm going to hit T for transform, and don't hit this. You want to come up here and click your pivot. All right. And now I can close this in a little bit. So remember, we want to split the difference and go about halfway with it. Somewhere that still looks like it needs to go a bit more. Just a tiny bit more open than that. There we go. That's about where I really want it. And with that closed in now, I can separate back out the mandibular model. So I'll use the select tool, double click just the model, and then while it's selected, go to edit, separate, and now we're back to having independent models. I can turn off the Bonwill triangle, and I could resave the mandible in this lower position. Remember, I haven't altered the positioning of the maxilla at all, so it's going to be in the exact same place in Blue Sky. Since only the mandible has been moved, I'm going to export that. And I've labeled that as lower with closed VDO. And you can see now that if I go back into Blue Sky Plan, I could import that model. So import STL. And let's bring in the lower with a closed VDO. And do you see how it brings it right back into the same global position? So when the software is asking you to stitch this, I'm going to just hit the X. I don't want to stitch that. It's already in the right position. So now you could toggle these things on and off. You can see the original mandible, and then you can see now this yellow model is the closed VDO. You can see the difference between those two. All right, so a very practical tool that was much, much quicker than you're going to be able to go and launch another software and to be able to close this thing in accurately. So hopefully you found that useful. And again, if you want to purchase this STL, it's on Dentistry Downloaded. And see you at the next video.